Well, helping parents and their kids get ready to return to the classroom, WIS Sunrise is sitting down with district superintendents across the Midlands ahead of the new school year.
Yeah, we're excited to welcome Richland One's newest superintendent, Dr. Todd Walker. Welcome to Columbia, Dr. Walker. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So Richland One heads back on August 11th.
Absolutely.
Tell us about some things that you are hoping to bring to the district.
Well, we want to ensure that all of our community members, our family, our students, our faculty, and our staff feel engaged and part of the community. There's been some great work that's been done, and we're looking forward to accelerating that work and to making sure that there's a strong climate and culture that everyone feels engaged and supported.
Dr. Walker, talk about safety. You know, it's a big issue for parents. Talk about some of the safety measures that are new this year and just what you all have been dealing with to prepare for the new school year.
Sure. Well, safety is always a priority in education. For us, there is a safety officer, a school resource officer in every school building. In our high schools, we have two school resource officers, and in addition to that, we also have metal detection capabilities that are happening in high school and in middle school, and that prioritizes making sure that everyone that enters into the school building is in a safe environment, ready to learn.
Absolutely. Teacher shortages has also been a big issue, not only here in South Carolina, across the country. What has the district been doing over the summer months to not only retain teachers, but, you know, recruit teachers as well?
Sure. Well, that's always a priority for us. And one of the things that we've been emphasizing on is how do we create a teacher pipeline? And folks that are already in the district that are interested in becoming teachers. So we've been leaning into that and making sure that that pipeline is strong and that people are aware of that opportunity. We're also working on our teacher recruitment efforts for our student teachers. We have 129 student teacher placements for the 2025-2026 school year. And so those are young people like yourselves that are interested in coming into the classroom and being engaged. And that's another way that we can ensure that we have a strong environment for our students, plenty of teachers that are willing to lean in and be effective practitioners.
Also transportation, a situation, a problem for South Carolina, retaining bus drivers, keeping them. Talk about how the district is addressing that issue.
Sure. So we continue our recruitment efforts. Right now, we have about 39 vacancies with our bus drivers. 7 of those, we have 7 folks that are in training, so we look for that to be a shorter or a smaller amount of folks. But certainly, we'll make sure that those routes are covered by other folks, and it might mean a little bit longer wait time, but we'll ensure that we have a pipeline of folks and continue recruitment efforts to get bus drivers into those spaces.
You know, South Carolina is going through a time right now when it comes to curriculum, the largest book ban across the country. So when we're talking about curriculum specifically, is anything going to change when it comes to K-12 education for Richland One?
Well, we have some exciting new developments with our curriculum, particularly in K-5 mathematics. We're adopting a new mathematics curriculum, Ready Math. That's a curriculum that I'm familiar with from my previous district, a very strong curriculum that is high quality instructional materials for all of those students. And we're expecting that we're going to see some significant gains as we train teachers on those materials and as they get skilled up and as we continue to work with our administrators on how to utilize those curriculum material and resources effectively.
Talk about some new technology that may be, coming to the district. Talk about new technology for both students and teachers.
Well, technology isn't really new, but I think it's important. We're a one-to-one district, and so making sure that students have access to devices and to Wi-Fi is critically important because we know that the learning of the future is going to be web-based, it's global, and so we want for all of our students as well as our faculty and staff to be able to engage effectively with technology and resources.
So Dr. Walker, you know, you're coming in new here to Columbia for the district. Of course, there's going to be some challenges and issues that preceded you that are going to roll over here. The Early Learning Center and the increase as far as the budget when it comes to taxes in Richland County have been a big talker. What are your viewpoints on that when you're addressing it as you step into this new position?
Well, you know, I think for both of those, you know, the Early Learning Center particularly, you know, it's about appreciating and really understanding the various perspectives on that initiative. I know that it was a pain point for the district and that there was a lot of strong viewpoints and strong opinions about it. And so for me, coming in the first 90 days, I wanted to really just spend some time just listening and learning. Appreciating the various perspectives throughout the district, and then looking at how we can build consensus toward a pathway forward that feels effective for everyone. And I think in terms of budget, we are fortunate that we have a budget and have resources available. interesting that some perspectives in the district is that we have resources, but it's not been managed effectively. And so for me, that's about trust. And so what we're looking to do is to build transparency so that we are able to have processes that allow people to know that we're going to over-communicate as it relates to instructional material and resources, financial material and resources, and human resources, so that everyone is clear about what we're doing with the resources and how we're using those to be effective for students.
Transparency is key here. Dr. Walker, talk about, some of the challenges that you have maybe faced over the summer moving into the new school year.
Well, the biggest challenge is that I'm moving from 8 hours away. And so, my crawl space was a challenge in terms of packing up my home and making sure that I was ready to move here. But it's really just learning the area. I've been fortunate that there are so many wonderful people in Columbia that have welcomed me with open arms, and certainly just getting to understand the unique context that is this Richland County and Richland One specifically, but also Columbia, the unique context. Very similar in a lot of ways to my previous context. It's a college town. I know there's a lot of Gamecock fans, so I'm transitioning from being a Buckeye to a Gamecock. So that's going to be a place for me of difference. But I think a lot of things are similar. And so similar issues, similar opportunities. And so I think there's an environment here where there's a lot of businesses that are wanting to be involved and want to invest in the district. There's colleges that are here in the town that want to be involved and invest in the district and want to be engaged. And so my goal is just to look at how we can be collaborative with all stakeholders and work together effectively so that we can accelerate outcomes for students.
Absolutely. I'm sure the Richland One community is so excited to welcome you this year. A final message to parents and students as we head into the 2025 school year.
Well, my message is we want you engaged. It's important that you are with us, that we hear your voice. I believe that every voice matters, and that many times from the smallest of voices comes the greatest of ideas. And so we want everyone from every high school, from every middle school, from every elementary school, from all of our communities that are part of Richland One to be engaged with us. I'm going to be doing some listening and learning tours. I'm going to be doing some Let's Talk tours. I'll be out in the community. I'm coming to you. And so we want to make sure that we have an opportunity to see everyone, and we look forward to seeing everyone very soon.
All right, Dr. Walker, Richland School District 1, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
sharing
having me.
this information. Of course, all of this information will be on our website, wistv.com.